Hello and welcome to Baku TV International with me, Mariam Zaidi, and welcome to our ongoing coverage of COP29, the UN climate conference taking place here in Baku. Our COP29 Digest is a daily look at all the big headlines and the key meetings taking place between Azerbaijan and some 200 or so world leaders, plus of course the progress on agreements and initiatives being made day to day. First though, let's speak to Nigar Apadaray, the UN climate change high-level champion for COP29 and a member of Azerbaijan's National Assembly. So Nigar, take us through the highlights for you from COP today.
Hello, Mariam. This is Alexander Vasiliev for Baku TV, directly from the blue zone of COP29. We were incredibly lucky to meet Nigar Apadaray, the UN climate change high-level champion for COP29 Azerbaijan, and she's ready to answer your question.
Okay, Nigar, so good to speak to you. Can you take us through your highlights from COP29 today?
Thank you so much for having me today. We had a very good, very fruitful day today. I can summarize overall my role is the role of a high-level champion, and my mission is to bring to the table the voices of the non-state actors, private sector, civil society, and all the rest. So today we had a business investment and philanthropy climate platform for the first time in the blue zone. That was a big gathering of business leaders together with philanthropies, asset owners, investors, together to discuss the global climate action and how we see the green transition overall. We had over 1,000 participants from 71 countries. It was a really good gathering of people, and our main objective is to make sure that private sector is engaged and to see how private sector overall sees this green transition, because green transition is it comes with risks and opportunities, especially for the private sector, and they need to be ready for that. And it was great to see large corporations considering the future, and obviously our main message was that is that actually we need to create an ecosystem for private sector to be incentivized and to believe into this green transition. And yes, overall I can summarize it as a very good, fruitful event. And we, in parallel to that, we had a number of events as the COP29 presidency has been doing. We have announced our Big Fit initiative, and we are continuing this work. And today I think that it was the first time when business, investment and trade was considered as a one unified day within COPs, and we feel that it is going in the right direction.
Thank you so much, Nigar Apadaray. Thank you for joining us on the COP29 Digest. Thank you so much. Moving on now, and let's look at what happened else on day 4 at COP29. Now, earlier on today, the President Aliyev met with the Vice President of the Federative Republic of Brazil. He sent greetings from the Brazilian president, who couldn't attend the conference due to health reasons. He was invited back by the Azerbaijani president to pay an official visit at a later date. They praised the event hosted in Baku this year and highlighted the cooperation between the two countries on climate change issues. Next, the CEO of Azerbaijan Export and Investment Promotion Agency, AzPromo, addressed the Business, Investment and Philanthropy's climate platform. He talked about creating greater connectivity and sustainability and climate action between business leaders, investors and philanthropists.
Through this platform, our goal is to amplify the essential role of finance in driving the global transition in alignment with the Paris Agreement and the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. This initiative aims to unlock significant investments that support a greener and more resilient future.
Now, are countries doing enough to save the planet? Well, protesters also added their voice to COP29 as they urged wealthy nations to uphold their financial commitments and avoid deepening debt for the developing world.
On the 4th day of COP29 in Baku, conference participants organised an action under the slogan "Pay Up," a call for developed countries to increase climate finance to combat the effects of climate change and support vulnerable nations. The protesters, representing about 15 countries, held placards emphasising the importance of climate justice and solidarity. They also chanted slogans such as "Give money for climate finance," "Trillions, not billions, for climate finance," and "The responsibility for climate change lies with wealthy nations."
deliver, commit to trillions of dollars of climate finance in public funds. At the moment, the governments led by the richest countries of the world are refusing to talk about quantums or amounts of money that needs to be delivered. They're refusing to talk about public funds commitments. They're pointing to the private sector. They're evading the responsibility. And it is part of the agreement in the Climate Convention that developed countries should be delivering climate finance for the global south or for developing countries. So all these discussions are being stalled in the NCQG process. So we're here to tell our governments in the north that they have to deliver, and our governments in the south not to falter, to stand firm and hold their ground, because if these funds are not delivered, it will be to the great harm of the entire planet. We're not just talking about people of the global south. We need all the urgent global climate actions, and these will not be delivered unless they commit to trillions of dollars in climate finance in public funds.
Finally, here we see Pakistan's Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb calling for an urgent need for innovative solutions for water management and agriculture.
On the fourth day of COP29, panel discussions took place at various delegation pavilions, including Pakistan's Blue Zone Pavilion. Prominent guests took part in the discussion, mainly focusing around financial solutions for climate, as described by the Minister of Finance of Pakistan.
So first of all, we are very grateful to the and our compliments to the government of Azerbaijan for a very successful conference in terms of what I see here and managing the logistics around this. It's obviously a huge undertaking. So first, compliments to the government of Azerbaijan. Today's discussion was all around climate financing and climate financing in the context of Pakistan, because as you know, while Pakistan emits only less than 1% of global emissions, but it is one of the 10 most climate vulnerable countries in the world. The 22 flooding, the air pollution right now at this point in time in Pakistan are all sort of testaments to that part of it. So today the discussion was around the support that we can get from multilaterals, we can get from public-private partnerships, from private sector funds. This morning there was also a very dedicated private sector fund which was announced, which is all very positive developments for the country in terms of adaptation finance.
Through these efforts, Pakistan aims to position itself as a proactive player in global climate discussions and advocate for justice regarding loss and damage caused by climate change, as well as solve funding issues surrounding climate solutions.
This COP is very much about climate finance, and every country is struggling to get avenues for funding from different climate channels to meet their climate action needs in different countries, particularly developing countries. As far as Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan is very much concerned about tackling climate change issues, but it needs investment in technology and technical know-how. And it is not possible without collaboration and cooperation with like-minded and developing and developed countries.
Okay, so that's the latest from day 4 of COP29. Stay up to date with all of our top stories. And of course, we'll have ongoing coverage of COP29 right here in Baku. You'll find everything you need on baku.tv and follow us on X or Facebook at Baku TV Official. Thanks for watching.